That's good. But whoa, Alan, did you hear that?
What was that, Bliska?
I think it's time for the overtime period where you get to speak your mind, and it's also sponsored by absolutely no one.
Yeah.
And for today, what do we got in the menu?
Okay. So Tyler, it's that time. We got to get that shovel. We got to get deep. We got to get real. And some of your answers already, I think you already alluded to. You're talking about mental health of athletes, talking about mental health of kids when it comes to like activities and grassroots sports. So we're just gonna go dive into it. We know that Bell Let's Talk was a week ago, and we were gonna do something for that, but we just never got to it. So I guess when you came on, we thought that, hey, we got three guys over here. We'll talk about the stigma, and I'll give you the floor, Tyler. So how like the stigma, right? Like it's very difficult for a lot of people to speak up about mental health and reaching out. And I think this is where we'll start. Tyler, how do you feel about like everyone pulling their efforts into one specific event? Because I feel like mental health is such a big thing that instead of putting more attention to one thing, would it be better to spread it out? Or mental health stigma?
Well,
where's yours?
I mean, we should always be aware of mental health first of all, in general, not necessarily on a specific day as well. But just thinking about like the whole Bell Let's Talk campaign, I think we have to be weary of like the whole aftermath of it. Like, supporting mental health isn't just donating money; it's also being that person who welcome people struggling over to their table. Being a helping hand, being someone people can talk to, and generally just another presence when people feel alone. So, but one thing I heard about Bell Let's Talk after it ended is that it was a sort of, I wouldn't say a scheme, but it was a run of cause related marketing, which is basically when like under the shadows of doing something for a good cause, they're still making money. Hence why they have their name big and bold above that. Like Bell Let's Talk. When you think about like all the texting you do, your internet, you're going on your Bell internet to discuss everything, like they're making money still. They're profiting. So you just got to be mindful of who you support. I would honestly always prefer nonprofit organizations. So, like I've donated before to the Canadian Mental Health Association. Just generally, people who have always had a reputation for support, not just supporting mental health, but being a hand to mental health. Those are the people I would share my thoughts with and my stories with first.
No, that's true, especially when these organizations that are literally built upon, and that's their mission, So, and I feel like they deserve a lot of their attention because they're going on throughout the year. But I still think that Bell, as big as a company as Bell, just going forward and like putting that message out there, I still think it kind of it helps being a beacon because they have so much of an outlet, which is also like the other side of things. But I do agree with you with supporting like the non-for-profits organizations that make this their mission.
Yeah, I mean, bear with me. Like, I'm not attacking, but like, I mean, it's good that there's officially a day now where everybody can be reminded that mental health is a big issue, and that at least showing that an eye for it will like means the world to another person. But I mean, to everything, both pros and cons, right? So I won't put this up for debate. It's just my opinion for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I gotta say that, like, I don't know why, but I guess we kind of gravitate towards it a little bit for the podcast, and I've also gravitated to the same topic of mental health for a couple of the projects I've taken for my like school classes, and I had to do research on Bell Let's Talk, and I did find an article that talked about how the company has benefited so much from its campaign, and if it was really a little bit more altruistic, it wouldn't really have its name before the cause. But moving away from Bell, we'll talk about the stigma, right?
Yeah.
We start from the beginning. There's three guys, right? And I guess it's kind of hard for a lot of like males, especially like in our generation, to talk about certain things, right? Or how we're feeling. And Tyler, how can people like I'm asking you all the hard questions. How do people knock the door and open that up? Like how do people feel comfortable about trying to go and get like help, or how do big campaigns like Bell Let's Talk, are those the ones that do you think are the most effective of getting people to go where they need help or to open up?
Well, it's definitely a hard topic to touch because it takes a while for people to muster up the courage to reveal their own stories at first, and until those stories are heard, not much of an approach can be made. Which is why, for now, just to represent the community as a whole, we just donate. Um, but I mean, in an ideal world, we hope that everyone can one day build the courage to share their stories to get their own individual help and provide for their own betterment of self growth. And yeah, I know for me, I struggled with mental illness for years, and it did take me a long time to uh, tell my story first to my parents, my friends, and acquaintances, everybody that knows of me. Um, and there's just so much to be aware of, so much to be concerned for. But in a perfect world, something to be proud of all these people who are struggling, but at the same time, like keeping their head up high and moving forward.
Absolutely. And it really puts it in perspective. Like like when you speak about your family opening up, when you open up your family, these are people that are, there for you unconditionally. So but at the same time, as Alan says, being 20 whatever year old as we are, and then just Alan says again, the stigma. There's like a barrier there that might take time, but I feel like everybody should try to climb it, because eventually, the more like once you get over it, you can see the the love and the concern that the people that you have in your life have for you, because I think, once again, family is important, and I don't think people that you love would let you go through things on your own per se. So I feel like that's one of the big aspects of it.
Yeah, I think the key to all of it is to just know that you're not alone in the fight, no matter how you see it.
Okay, I gotta say though, it's yeah, no, I think it's important to have that support around you, whether it be your family or your friends or even acquaintances that you're willing to open up to and share your experiences. And we're not gonna dive into our individual own experiences because that's gonna be too real, and we're low key running out of time. But yeah, no, I gotta say though, like Tyler, I did see when you made that one post before, and we don't have to dig into the details, but when you came out, like when you explained a couple of the stuff that you're going through, it was very powerful, man. I gotta say, and I even showed it with Bleska. I even like we read it together, and we were moved by it, and we see how the impact that people can have from having the confidence to like after talking to their friends and family to just open up and tell people that like it's okay to talk about different things, because sometimes if I tell my parents I'm like I'm sad or something like that, right? And they'll just be like, oh, you have literally no reason to be sad, like you have a nice home, you have good friends, you have like stuff going for you. But I'm just like, that doesn't matter, like you could have your own battles, and not everyone is, or everyone is fighting their own battle that you probably can't see, right? Everyone has their own cross that they're carrying that you won't be able to see. And sometimes you don't have to open up and tell everyone about that, right? But it's nice to be able to see that people are willing to like be a person to reach out to, and that Tyler, for you, that you have that group of people to open up to, right? And yeah, what are your final thoughts on just being people to open up to?
I would say, as a final thought, like, just remember that people are going through their own demons too. Like, I know that we see on social media all the time that people's lives seem great. You know, they're out here, they're out there, like in paradise seemingly, but in the background, like, not everything is all sunshine and rainbows. Like, with every good comes a bad. So just be mindful of that when you watch everybody, and especially your loved ones.
His words. Well, I guess from here on out, I guess we just gotta thank you for running low on time, but it's been a good talk. I mean, very healthy because every time we bring mental health to the conversation, the table, it's always progressive. I find because it opens the door to whoever clicks on our episode to how do I say, water their plants maybe with love and whatever we have going on over here. Alan, what do you got?
Oh, I gotta say, it's funny because if you do go on Spotify and all the listeners that listen to it, we got 2 tags. We got self-help and comedy. So I mean, we're touching all the bases.
It's good to blend the genres. Yeah.
It's so weird though. Like, I mean, just like, I don't know who did that. I don't know if that was me or Bleska, but yeah, I gotta say, thank you, Tyler, for opening up about your rec sports, professional sports opinion, and obviously helping us talk about mental health, because we know that's a really big thing nowadays. And yeah, we appreciate you being a supporter of us. And Tyler, any last words that you want to say before we wrap this up?
Check the heck out of Bleska and Alan. Reach out to their podcast. Keep tuning in to all their episodes. Oh, these guys are going big, man. And I don't think they ever want to go home. So
my heart. Yeah.
I think, all right, I'll end it with just since it's Black History Month, I gotta end it with a quote. The battles that count aren't the ones for gold medals, the struggles within yourself, the invisible ones, the inevitable battles inside of all of us. That's where it's at. Jesse Owens. But with that,
Fist bump.
signing off.